goes up by a huge shot. What's buyback status as well? We should take a look at that. 4 on Dire, 2 on Raider. So this is huge. Dire got outpost control as well. So they can TP back in, get the area. This is going to be eyes on how Snapfire can deal with the Tombstone. Needs to be perfect here for the Undying, because around a low ground, high ground contrast of a position, this is going to be a huge advantage here for Dire, and Arena as well, where you can just pummel from afar with the TB. So I really want to see a Polo. I mean, okay, so he's got 2 wards. Honestly, I think you've dropped 1 there. And maybe you group as 5 and actually go claim the outpost. We don't even know how long till Roche is going to be up for. But yeah, Dire have like, they have all this time to work out how you want to take the fight. Like they're seeing, I think that's just our visual bug. But they got 2 heroes, at least guaranteed, and potentially more inside the pit. They should know that, because Roche cannot physically be up by now. And potentially more inside the pit. They should know that. But maybe they think someone could just be chilling inside the pit, of course. But there are no ultis at cooldown, and Dire still have a lot more of their smoke timer left too. Honestly, I'd really like to see them just go all the way around. Honestly, I'd really like to see them just go all the way around. So I have this T1 top. This is actually a big factor we didn't bring up. Because maybe they're actually not forced to go here, because if they go here, and Dire just win this fight. Now they've got a ward up there, you've got a ward here for the low ground, you pretty much cover a lot of this area. But it is nighttime. It's going to have Dark Ascension up shortly too. But yeah, maybe they're not forced to actually go get the outpost because you have the T1 tower. So this is actually still a really good location to TP to. And you see, that's a dope ward actually. That's a really cool ward. Okay. Something I really wouldn't have thought of, but it's the fact that we're speaking about buyback potential, and you're only saying a minute left. Yeah, we're speaking about the buyback potential and where you're going to be TPing to. So you know Roche is make or break it. Like, we're going to have multiple buybacks here unless one team just absolutely wins the fight 5-0 to start. And the only place they're going to join from is by this T1 tower. So dropping this ward gives them a lot of information where extra heroes will be, I should say where the reinforcements will be flooding in from. I really like that play. You maybe... It's definitely like, you could argue this ward on the cliff. It's more than likely sentry to be placed, and they also had no information of where Radiant was positioned until now. So running up here to start into, say, a tiny like here with a ward sentry could be really awkward. So at the moment, I have very strong control around the area, which is, you know, something that it has to be expected too, because we saw this Bat Rider with the gem. I mean, they've got no vision at all.
Your nightmare continues.
This is still a game that is about to be a pivotal moment coming up for us. Second Roshan, game 1 of the semi-finals, the 3rd qualifier to Division 2. We've already seen the likes of Ragdoll make it in the first quals, and Talon was able to join them in the second qualifiers. And now we're lucky enough to have 3rd quals thanks to the kindness of Omega. Keep in mind, guys, we already have kobolds as of Atomic-eSports and InterActivePhilippines. and see, what the, kind of what the strats are, how these teams like to play. Radiant Dire, first, second. Are we spamming Tiny? Are we being impressed with Tiny? Those 6 and 11. I definitely, I think it's to be expected that I think his lane went a lot better than I was expecting. I don't know. This hero's been nerfed pretty heavily though. He's got 3k gold, so what does he go for? Because Fiend actually went Basher. So what, we were tossing up between the AC and Nullifier on Fiend? Okay, Basher just gives you, I guess, a little bit extra. It's interesting. It helps you a lot with your pickup potential across the map. It's really nice through BKBs as well. What, you got all 3 on your cores. So maybe if like the Batrider jumps, Fiend can jump on over and Abyssal Blade just to prevent the Batrider from dragging back. Apollo can also do the same thing though with the Blink Aether Lens, so he's got pretty long range here with the banishment. But we were speaking about the Nullifier, just the factor of wanting to get rid of the Force Staff and Aeon Dix now as well. So I think he has to go Nullifier. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if he just stops going Basher and straight into Nullifier next.
To hell with you.
I mean, what are the stats from Nullifier as well?
Feel the rage of a mage.
80 damage is a shite load. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I'd be surprised if he doesn't. I mean, you've got Undying with the Force Staff. He's going Glimmer Cape as well. Like, these supports are just itemizing to survive and itemizing to keep other people alive as well after they have like one defensive. Force Glimmer, Force Aeon. One item for themselves, one item for one of the other boys. Nullify is just such a cool item here. So honestly, I would be really surprised if Fiend doesn't consider it and stop going for the Basher. How are we all doing though, lads? How we doing? Chilling? What's going on, Nino? Chemo. Damn, Chemo, you're too kind. You love a brother that's helping the boys out. I tell you what. I'm goddamn excited though for DPC. Can I get a clap? Can I get a clap? If anyone else is excited? I hope we get the longest. I hope we get the longest clap feed. But my lord, we've had roster swap galore. And now we're leading into season 1. How goddamn exciting. I mean, I'm intrigued what everyone's favorite roster to keep their eye out on for. I mean, we could go through the
Trick of the trade.
moment. Well, it did determine the game. Moment. Well, it did determine the game. Got the qualifiers now, but we're leading into DPC. The hype starting again. Like I'm so like the days of where we had literally a series going on at every stage in the day almost. You could just chill, watch Dota, have the boys going. I mean, the fact that we get to see this level, a high level of Dota as a treat, as a little bit of a gift for all of us. Dude, there's some funny as little names on the end as well. Dude, that looking for team's not a good one. Where you got a team right now? They got the looking for team. So they must not have a lot of pause time left. Like, they're really running through it. You know what I miss? Some effigies. I remember when the effigies came out and you could make some goddamn cool effigies. So let's see them. Alright, what are we rating this one? Let's go. We'll go through all the effigies and just hope they have more than like one. Not that, please. The axe. No. I clicked the axe. Dude, what? Because you can't. So annoying. Tower? Axe. Dope. Okay. What are we rating this? Like the names. Dude. Dude. Alright, I'll stop. Like, I'll just. There we go. That's all we'll get. Like the names. We'll give that a. Like, you need a good name with it though. Like, that's the thing. Like, it's just not a good name. Alright, we're skipping around. Why is it doing that? I'm clicking on Storm and it's going somewhere else. See, that's better. The caption. I understand. Mob, you got 21 commends. This, yeah, fair enough. 0? Like, the axe is kind of doing something cool-ish. He's jumping up in the air, almost like slamming down his claws on someone. You've just got commas there. Like, that's just not good enough. Dude, I do not want to see the barracks. Alright, let's look at... just not working out. I don't know why you can't just inspect and the game's paused like this. Look, I'm clicking on the effigy. I don't understand. My dude's Zen mode right now. I don't know. He's chilling. What do we rate the axe? I say for some reason I feel like I said 8 out of 10, and it's not an 8 out of 10. It's probably like a 6 out of 10. We'll give this one. I can't even. No, axe like a 5 out of 10 because I'm gonna give this one a 6. Like this one's it's I mean that's even. I'm only like feeling like a little bit better about this one just because the caption. Okay. What's this? Please no more clicking on towers. It's a choreo. Where's the effigy? I don't know. Kind of cool, I guess. No caption. 7 out of 10? Yeah, we go 7 out of 10. Resume it? Damn, you hate to see it. Wait, what do you do? Wait, what? Dude, what's that? What actually goes on? Dude, oh my god, that's a lot of pings. Run at them! Dude, I want Fiend to 5v1. Oh my god, this is not fair. Jonas is gonna jump. Oh no. What do I even say? It's a beatdown. Oh, I mean, no mercy. And they're just gonna go in. Oh my god. You hate to see it. Fiend, you can do it. I believe. Oh, he's cut the eye. They're killing on dying. He's got to be the micro glitch somehow. Oh, back and forth. Who's he controlling now? I mean, Deuce is running out of mana. Gets a lot back with that snake. Now it's time to control the snapfire, but instantly they'll counter out the water kisses. Deuce out of mana, out of health. This game's over. A little tip, Fiend. That is... Holy shit, you gotta feel bad for them. Like, that is a game where they are... I'm speechless. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say, man. This game was dead even. This game was dead even. That Roche fight was literally going to... moment. Well, it did determine the game. I tell you what, I was right about something.
I already have a real job.
No! Oh my god! It's not coming. It is coming out.
No, it's not. No, it's not gonna come out.
A seashell? What the hell is a seashell that do?
For Shelby.
Oh, Shelby. Oh no. Fuck.
Mom, it's not gonna come off.
Come on,
It's a
Connor.
fucking tattoo.
Right here above.
That's
right
what-
here above.
that's what-
This shit's gotta stop. You're gonna have children someday.
Maybe.
You are gonna have sons. Do you want your sons to look like that?
I mean, if they want to look like it.
Honey, how did you not react to that?
I did.
What did you do?
I went like, you gotta be kidding me.
You really did not do that, mother.
Turn that thing off. Fucking luck.
It's Radiant's turn to ban. Ten seconds. Just who will dire ban? It's Radiant's turn to ban. It's Dire's turn to ban. It's Radiant's turn.
Welcome back to our close call.
It's Radiant's
Able to rejoin game one. It was just Fiend trying to 1v5, and
It's Dire's
unfortunately
turn
that's
to
a little bit too much of a hefty task here to ask from their position 3. So Interactive Philippines a game advantage, and now they're one game away of moving on and facing Kobolds in the grand finals. But if you're gonna
10 seconds now.
10 seconds.
it's painful to try and talk about that last game, but
5 seconds.
yeah, you do have to give. You got to say that Atomic-eSports, they were looking really solid. The position they were in, definitely. I mean, they were in a powerful spot where that game was super even. In fact, they had a little bit of a net worth lead before that game ended. So there's a lot to be happy about from game one. It's a different question though if they can look to switch the mindset, because they're going to be hurting after that. Like that sucks as a result.
It's Radiant's turn to pick.
With Interactive Philippines, they're back into something they're really comfortable with. The Spirit Breaker, Grimstroke. Now they played it a lot in the first qualifier and second qualifier. Games they versed Talon though, they played the Spirit Breaker and they didn't look good with it at all. It's something that they give to Escort every single game.
5 seconds remaining.
They really like the Spirit Breaker Grimstroke pairing as well. So back to some comfort, but recently that comfort hasn't really worked.
What's Radiant's ban plan anyway?
Shadow Demon.
So at least some comfort here for Philippines, and
Never
for the boys on Atomic, they're going to pick up their duo support as well. So really interesting opener, honestly, for Atomic. I suppose.
See? They came back.
Can you purge Bordeaux?
10 seconds.
So you can. Bordeaux's is dispellable, so I mean it's going to be really
What's
nice, and
Radiant's
reducing the
ban
movement speed
anyway?
pretty much gets rid of the charge factor. I don't know how much I like this duo support though. Like you're really relying on other people to make plays. You don't have ways to start fights. Shadow Demon's not a good laner as well. So if this is going to be another Shadow Demon 5, which it was previously, then Interactive Philippines could really get away with the Spirit Breaker Grimstroke, because I don't think that's a strong laning combo. Spirit Breaker gets pretty strong at level 5, where he's got like 100 damage with his strength gain and phase boots, and he can man fight as well with bashes at a pretty solid level. So once he's able to get to that stage, then Spirit Breaker gets pretty decent, but the early levels is a bit weak. But you're not really too worried because Shadow Demon's not the strongest laner either, and you're paired with more than likely
It's Dire's
Grimstroke here. So you're just looking for some now. And now Atomic needs stuns and initiation from their other roles. It's going to put a lot of emphasis on Fiend to potentially go for like a Mars. Honestly, I'm
10
surprised
seconds.
Mars hasn't been considered as a ban.
It's Dire's turn to pick.
Alchemist. So this must just be, I mean, Veno banned, Weaver banned, Elk banned. Weaver maybe not as team specific. We still see a lot of teams picking up the Weaver. But Elk and Venomancer are really
10
surprising.
seconds.
I guess this is just something Atomic like to run. Well, Eris
5
used to
seconds.
froth the Venomancer as a support when he was back on Signal. So if I'm not sure if he's still running it and if they're still giving priority to it or not. But they're just like, all right, let's make sure we don't get cheesed here in the second game. Make sure there's no real heroes that are going to change the status quo and really how Dota looks in paper. I'm a bit surprised they did leave the Mars in the pool
Radiant's turn to pick.
because it seems like a pretty obvious pairing with the combo that Atomic had, but I like this pick a lot. Really like this pick. Yeah, you want to jump the Shadow Demon as best as possible. The Snapfire too. Like Snap wants to be super far away from the team fight to really utilize Mortimer Kisses.
10 seconds.
But now he has to go up against the Charge and the Horn
5 seconds.
and also the
It's
Aghanim
Radiant's
Scepter on
turn.
Spectre. I was trying to remember the name of it. Pretty decent TB matchup though. Reflection's great against the Haunt Illusion. I'm a bit concerned that he might just lose
10
all his
seconds.
team before he comes online. But Shadow Demon Terror Blade's a great combination.
5 seconds.
Any illusion hero plus SD is very good, just with how you can naturally push out waves a lot easier with the banishment. With the banishment illusions, I should say. Yeah, we see Shadow Demon
Dire's
Luna
pick now.
is another example of a similar combo. They're gonna go for the Doom. Okay. A little bit too cooldown reliant, I feel. And not a great way to combine with the Snapfire. Like, you want AoE damage because Doom is very single target with his ultimate. So you want someone who's got a lot of AoE, and
10
Terrorblade's very
seconds.
single target as well. So that AoE control in
5
fights is
seconds.
very lacking for Atomic, which is going to make it very awkward for them to take these engagements. You don't have a setup for Snapfire, which now puts a lot of the
What's Radiant's ban planning?
attention here on the position too, and they're already going to take one out of the cards. So it's into a Shadow Demon. So Purge is pretty good versus the Ember though. Gets rid of the Flame Guard. Again, another hero that is pretty reliant on his movement speed. Spoke about Spirit Breaker with the
10
charge. Now
seconds.
Ember with his remnants as well. I think now it's like you go through
5
position two.
seconds.
It's stops you from having to ban the Ember, and it's a good Ember game anyway against the TB, against the Snapfire. You've got 3 heroes now that are great with Inkspell, that are great to jump the back line. Now you are a little bit vulnerable to the Doom, which we might see now Interactive Philippines with their last pick. I think you've got all your cores. I've never seen them not play Spirit Breaker as a 3. So I actually just want to see them go for a saving support.
Oh, someone's gone. Quick, Jax, go find
What
him.
comes to mind? Okay amount of stuns. Not actually, really not the greatest. Charge, Inkswell, Chains, not enough you would consider. So maybe Ogre Spectre don't work well together. Actually, we'll speak about Atomic because they got 23rd pick. They are looking for their 2. You can put the Doom mid if you want to and still go Mars, which honestly I wouldn't be opposed to. But you're looking for a matchup versus the Ember. Void Spirit's taken out of the cards. Well, I mean, I've seen people still pick the Void Spirit into the Ember, even though it doesn't have a favorable matchup. Storm's a potential. Honestly, Storm looks very good this game. I want someone with a stun.
10
Uh,
seconds.
Yeah, you need a stun and a way to start fights here, so Snapfire can play with Mortimer
5
Kisses.
seconds.
I don't want someone that's very cooldown dependent because you've got Meta and Doom, which leaves you very vulnerable to Interactive Philippines having about a 2-minute window where they can get super aggressive throughout that period. So it has to be someone with kind of a low cooldown dependency. Invoker's a great one with that. Love the ban from Interactive. One of the better matchups versus Ember with Cost Works, Space Maker, and a way to buff
10
the
seconds
Terrorblade.
now.
This is something we spoke about in game 1, where you're a TB
5
versus
seconds.
Dusa, and it's gonna go late game. It's a bit back and forth, so you want some steroid to buff that hero up. So it's very similar whenever you have some position one that's very, very high right click damage orientated. We were also speaking about they need some form of AoE control, which is lacking as a position 2. Puck probably one of the best, and I love that band. These bands are really, really cool from Interactive, like pretty much spot on. AoE abilities, not too cooldown, not cooldown dependent, can initiate. Puck more so than the Invoker. So
10
now,
seconds.
I mean, if you want, I think Ember should do fine versus Doom if they put the
5
Doom
seconds.
matchup mid, and if they still go Mars off lane. Storm still on the cards. The
See? They
Void.
came back.
You could could you OD? We're seeing a little bit more
It's
OD.
Dive's
That's
turn.
just the reason I bring it up. It's nice for us their cause. They're gonna Earth Spirit. Okay, so what do we got? Is it Earth Spirit 2, Snapfire 2? I think it's an Earth Spirit
10
2.
seconds.
Do I? Because doesn't Ember win that matchup?
5 seconds.
I like it though. AoE damage, some way to go in, not too cooldown dependent. So all kind of the 3 things we were asking for comes out of the Earth Spirit. There's not a lot of heroes that players, I should say, that can play this hero at a very high level in the position 2. Yopaj is one of them. But Interactive, yeah, they're looking for their 5, I believe. I want a defensive support, some way to kite Atomic and just enable a reset after Doom is used. Enchantress, Bane, some really good bands there. I'm not a huge fan of Abaddon at the moment, but I like him versus Doom. They're gonna get ET, okay. So the matchup versus Terrorblade, really on paper, it's very good, and yeah, we'll be in Earth Spirit too. So the matchup on as ET versus Terrorblade on paper is very good, and for quite some time, people would say it's very ET favored. I don't think that's really the case anymore. As soon as TB picks up Skadi, and Elder Titan gets his armor reduction on his hero instead of the Astral, so he needs to be on top of the Terrorblade, and you pretty much just get 4 hits. So it's good in regards of like an AoE control just to reset the fight if Terrorblade's illusions are all clumped together. You pop Echo Storm, Earth Splitter, everyone overwhelms TV and blows him up from there. But then in regards to like, usually people would say he's great with the minus armor. I should say just the physical, the base armor, and the base armor reduction. But yeah, it doesn't seem to be the case so far. But I like it. We were asking for some way to really disengage out of these fights when Doom's used. Another way to disrupt the Snapfire in the backline as well. You also have potential to scout out Roshan, defend towers, and a really strong laner, and one of Chemo's best heroes as well. So there's definitely there's definitely question marks on this Earth Spirit. It has to be said. I mean, an Earth Spirit position 2, you got to have some balls to pull it out. Elimination match here.
Oh, that is too good. You should have known better.
Wait, what? 25 FPS. Okay, I thought I read that as ping for some reason. I'm like, my god, chilling. What am I on right now? They're on Southeast Asia. 20-minute break incoming. All right, here we go. Let's hope no more internet issues for the side of Atomic. It was very unfortunate with their game one. You really hate to see it, honestly. It doesn't matter if you're a fan of them or not. If you're rooting for InterActivePhilippines, you always want to see a game where it doesn't end like that. But again, it's a question of how do you recover. Like, honestly, that's gonna tilt you mentally. The fact that you had the net worth lead by about 5k.
Don't you say me. 30
How do I feel about that? I'm a bit worried that Radiant have some lack of control. If Earthspirit can pop off, then maybe... I wonder if he goes Veil this game. They've got a lot of magical damage. Yeah, my issues previously was AoE control and AoE damage because the Doom's very single target and the Terrorblade's single target as well. And I don't think you're going to have supports in fights. Emo? It's going to be our first blood. Apollo locks him. Is it going to be our first blood? It will. Apollo gets it. Like, hang on, is he actually going to get away? There's no chance. I'm surprised Dire didn't contest that more. They don't have the worst heroes. I guess Ember's not the greatest. Neither is the Spectre. Never mind. Oh, first blood given away. How many bounties did we lose as well? We'll be 2 for 2 in regards to the bounties. But at least there's just a Shadow Demon getting the kill. Not the Earthspirit or something like that. I want to see how this matchup fares. I want to see how Lewis can go. I really think it's... I mean, Ember versus a majority of melee heroes is pretty solid for him. So yeah, honestly, I'm excited. I mean, it's a hero that... There's a big reason why we don't see it a lot as a position 2 anymore.
You have been denied.
He doesn't have the damage at the talent, at the level 10 talent. But it's a hero that can get very active across the map. It did fulfill a lot of the weaknesses we saw in their draft. This should be a pretty strong lane here for Interactive up top. ET Spectre. I don't think they'll get any kills on the Doom. I think it should be a farming trade. Although Mom's kind of struggling at the moment, which I find a bit surprising. Sure, once Chemo hits level 3, they can just chuck out Dagger from afar, and that slow with Chemo should be enough to just chase back. And yeah, you see, as soon as we said, Dagger plus the astral damage, Chemo is just going to always try and prioritize the Snapfire. Doom just a little bit tankier with his armor and, of course, health pool as well. Both sides, it's actually Dire. So Dire got their small camp. They also blocked the heart as well. So looking to not give as much emphasis to Chemo to have more actual damage. Sometimes we see the ETs will still keep that available. Fiend's actually going to think about diving. Bit of an abrupt use of the Scorched Earth, unfortunately, is not able to get any conversion out of it. Just shove the lane in. See Marb at the moment. Again, I mean, he's had the creepy clear for him in his favor, but he's kind of had some heroes up in his face. We'll turn down to the bottom, so... I mean, we're speaking about the draft that I was a bit worried about the Shadow Demon as a laner. Because I think the Spirit Breaker is really weak in the early levels. And you can kind of penalize him in that regard. But Escort, he's super comfortable on the hero. He's been playing the Spirit Breaker a ridiculous amount so far through the qualifiers. They really like it as well. Nice kill from Fiend. They really like it as well with the Grimshow. It's just, I mean, extra movement speed with the charge, always going to work out in your favor with the damage, and a way to gap close into the backline as well. So would not be surprised if we see them get pretty active around kind of the level 5. his damage would definitely stack up. So Apollo is going to be pretty cautious of his positioning. Mid so far is even. 19 to 5, 18 to 3. Little bit of lead from Yona. We're going to see both the supports start to make some rotations here. The water runes. Yona's not going to get top. He's going to be forced away. Incredible use of the dodge there. Oh, okay. That's big. Lewis doesn't refill the bottle. Yona's not going to refill the bottle either. Okay. Honestly, really nicely done from
Most gracious.
either team's support, just making sure they do their best to secure and at best take the rune away from the position too. This does leave Fiend solo though, so Kimo's going to use a little bit of time just to bully him out. Fiend's already making sure he can play around with his creep cutting shenanigans, and now he's got phase boots. The kill threat they have on him is a little bit more lackluster, and in fact he can
Just wait.
start to play a bit more aggressive, just bettering his position to set up for a cookie. Yeah, they're gonna go in terribly. A whole lot of pain here. Level 4 escort. A little bit lucky there with the bashes to start. A big one to find. That's before the level 5 as well that I was thinking they'd start to make a move, plus the phase boot. So a really nice sign here for Dai down bottom with how that started. You're having level 6 is going to be a big detriment to Lewis. I think there's a lot of kill threat now. We see how weak Lewis is. Yeah, he's going to be forced to go all the way back to base. Doesn't want to sit to continue soaking up this experience. A full trip back to the well. There's a lot of kill threat there, so you take a look at what he's missing. Yona's going to do his best to, whenever you don't have a hero showing mid, you always want to shove the lane out as fast as possible to get it under the tower. The tower's just going to do a lot more damage, of course, to the creeps, so then potentially Lewis might miss one or two creeps. It's always those little things that will start to add up. And it's perfect timing as well, because now we can go back, set up for the power runes. And Lewis, you know, he's forced to stay mid to... He's got an obligation to kill these creeps. And that obligation gives up the DD, which now kind of takes away some of the kill threat. Their rotations not really slowed from the supports. I mean, we've seen Kimo kind of come around and maybe help out to secure some of the runes. Asta is looking to try and win the man fight, but with the help of Mob, and now he's instantly back to top. I didn't really need the horn, but he's like, oh, you know, I'll show up 1 second, take the kill, instantly back to top. Thank you very much. I'll snag that one. Nice use of the early horn here from Mob. You want to say nice use? Didn't really need it. It's a big kill though, because that was meta used just before he died. So now it's on cooldown for 100 seconds. He's not going to get any worth out of that. This bottom lane is continuing to go well for Escort. And Spirit Breaker, I tell you what, when this hero's farm is super busted. He's once again going back into Shadowblade though. So he really likes his Shadowblade build before, and like maybe one more item before like the Aghanims. That fire. Should be a goner here. Yona, first rotation of the game. They look to combine up top. He's got Doom, but he's starting to come through. Yona's going to be cautious. They do block the roll, but still Lewis is able to gap close enough to drop the Magnetize, and that it's enough damage. Really nicely played. Lewis just getting a little bit too antsy here, playing up top.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
So, Apollo. Uh-oh. Jin's gonna TP down as well. The Terrorbrade's not really gonna have a lot of damage here for this fight. It's the fact that Snapfire showing up. 2 points still Shredder with the help. The extra minus armor, of course, that's a ridiculous amount early on. It's always surprising at what the Snapfire can do. Top lane, you're not instantly back to the lane.
Toasty.
You get some retribution on Fiend. You drop the ultimate on me, I come back, drop a couple remnants on you. That's rotations early from Yona. That's a hero you definitely want to slow down as well, considering the Doom has had a really good start to this game.
Dire's middle tower is
Lewis and Jin combining together.
I return you to
This is good signs as well. You know, we were speaking about
Dire's middle
maybe a
tower is
concern
under
for the Earth
attack.
Spirit. It's a really hit or miss type of hero when you play it as a position 2.
If you're looking for Radiant's bottom tower, better hurry. Radiant just fortified.
We can see those X players like your Page just pop off and then
Radiant's
can
bottom
really feel
tower is under
lackluster.
Is that your
set in stone.
Who's gonna try and make another play? Magnetize up shortly. Is he gonna go for this? Yes, he will. I mean, the kick is doing so much damage. Level 4 already. You wouldn't really expect how much it is, but Lewis is surrounded under the T1 tower. Oh no, tips are out. All 5 heroes of Interactive Philippines really want to put a dent in this Earth Spirits early game. And Escort takes a 3 times killing streak. I tell you what, is quite the hero to get it on. Again, I mean, a hero that can scale really well with his Ags build once he gets it. Dude, this TP glitch. We're gonna have a, I mean, it's just gonna be a game of action from the spirits. And if Radiant can mirror the movements, Fiend up top might be in some trouble.
Is Dire going to let that middle tower fall?
Scott shot on cooldown and Escort's not getting lucky enough for the bashes. That's a long cooldown. I didn't know Nether Strike was 90. Thought it was a bit lower at level 1. So this is what we're gonna need to see. Lewis combining up with Snapfire with Mortimer Kisses. Whenever he has that available. They need to make sure they use Terrorblade's Metamorphosis to take early towers as well. Probably not, maybe not the next one, although he does have Dragonlance coming out actually, so he could combine up with you know, a push top, maybe like a smoke from the team, then he can look to clean up the tower.
Dire with the scan.
But that's the big advantage that Radiant have right now, is the fact that TB can be a big addition to some of these pushes. Whereas Dire don't really have that capability. Like, Spectre is not the greatest tower sieger. You don't really have anyone else either. Corner once again. They'll wake him up from his sleep.
Dire just fortified.
See how content they feel with diving. Lewis is still sticking around, but doesn't really have any stuns to deter them. And now they're even forced to use the Horn as Mob. He's actually just going to do it the old-fashioned way, is running in forward. So we're locked committed here just to get the kill. Multiple remnants along with Mob's ultimate, but all in all, Spectre continuing to get somewhat closer to the Aghanims. Once he finds this, then the supports are going to be free pickings here as the game goes on.
Dire's top tower has some Radiant-shaped problems.
How do we feel about Radiant though scale into the late game? Because Terrorblade's matchup versus Spectre is pretty solid. And he's going to farm a lot faster than the Spectre, considering this is not like a max dispersion blade mail build. That's pretty much max dispersion, but yeah, no blade mail means that you can't really take any stacks. Whereas Terrorblade, I mean, he's got the extra help of his meta damage and the illusions. And you've got Fiend as well, who's top of the net worth. 3 points devour, Midas as well.
Dire's top tower.
I don't think you defend the tower. Dire's actually starting to smoke, and Two-Break is attempting a long charge across the map. It's going to take him quite some time to reach. But now Yona's just going to rely on the double damage rune as well. Remnant in and out, but it's got to be careful of Fiend, who's pump faking the Doom. Another Remnant out to Siege, but Fiend's got an immense amount of movement speed to chase down one. And that hero will be Matthew. So Fiend with a double, but they do cost a life with the Terrorblade. See, just a little bit of a different fight there from Yona, making sure he plays on the boundary, recognizes his limits here. And Lewis, it's a big kill to fight as well, 2-0-2. Just slowing down the Spirit Breaker, very nicely done. We were speaking about the Snapfire. I want to see those Mortimer Kisses combined with Lewis, and exactly what we just saw. Look at the disparison though in net worth, 1,000 gold between the position 2s. Make it a little bit more now, about 1,200. So he needs to get kills with this Spirit Vessel, and they might just do so. Uh-oh, Mob. got Grimstrokes to the northern side, but the AoE damage stacking up with the Magnetize early. And Spirit Vessel as well coming into hand. Even Dire starting to sweep inside the area. Mobilizing the reinforcements. Doom as well setting up the ultimate, but he needs to find the Ember, but he hasn't closed the distance. So he finds his second best target in the Spirit Breaker. But now Soulbind leashing together is going to force the Snap and the Doom to continue putting themselves into a compromised position, which just sets up for a free fight for Yona. As Ember just runs down another slide up in a couple of seconds. A killing spree for Interactive Philippines position 2. I mean, a 3-for-4 trade. Yes, the TB's getting farmed, but you are giving a lot of space here to Yona. Bale trim now completed. Oh boy. I want to see Die Smoke, yeah? Let's go for it. You know, Doom's on cooldown, Magnetize, Mortimer Kiss is on cooldown as well. They can go for Lewis if they want. Looks like they're going to start on the Earth Spirit. He gets the roll away, but in fact it picks onto 2. Dire once again. This is where their lineup is going to come into fruition, just to overwhelm, to instantly get onto multiple heroes with Haunt, with Charge, with Remnant. And once they start to get map control, this game could really start to fall apart fast for Atomic. At all costs, they have to keep this tower alive mid. Ember? Ember? Whoa! Okay. Jesus Christ. Oh, Mortimer Kisses, what an ability. Oh, sorry, Lil Shredder, what an ability.
Dire structures are fortified. Radiant structures are fortified.
My god. There's so much physical damage.
Dire's middle
I mean, that
tower
is
has
huge.
lower power.
We're speaking about at all costs, Radiant need to keep that tower alive, and they're gonna kill also the objective. And there's that TB getting involved with them metamorphoses. Kill into the tier 1. But Aghanim Scepter is online for Mob. He supports across the map. And it starts to be free pickings for the global potential you have on Dire.
And over here, Radiant's top tower.
But still, Fiend is loving life. BKB, Doom up, so honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if we see Radiant think about making a play shortly. Not gonna have level 2 for Lewis's Magnetizing quite some time. I love that. Smoke up. BKB, Doom at the ready. All the ultimates, Chemo, solid positioning though, smoke popped. Exactly how you want to be playing here from the Elder Titan, but it looks like the reinforcements are showing up. I don't know if this is a fight you want to end up taking. BKBR is trying to find the target with the Doom until the Ember shows up, but it's too late once again. As he's playing the outskirts of affection on Yona. Doom is used at the last second. With the help of Aster, it might just be enough damage here. They've locked in, no use of the last remaining remnants. And it'll be a slow tick out until Lewis rolls from down. And I'm surprised Dai took that fight. Honestly, like... You know Doom's got to be close to BKB. You know his ultimate's ready. It was looking so good for them at the start though. And Earth Splitter, Ember did an exceptional job to not get doomed, was able to play on the edge. But this is what we're expecting. You're just gonna blow up the supports and then everyone else is pretty tanky. I mean, Earth Spirit's got a lot of strength gain, 4.4. Doom as well, super tanky early. But that looked great for Dire. Like just... I think that's where a lot of teams would have just let the Elder Titan die. Just be like, hey, you pop the smoke, giving up the ET life, it really means nothing. He's not got a streak at all. You're happy with giving up his life.
He's wrong.
This is an early gem. He's gonna get a lot of wards up top. One by the Ancients behind the T1 tower. There's one value already.
Happening to Radiant's middle tower.
But I love this play. You recognized ultimates on cooldown. Power spike for Dire. Let's look to get aggressive, try and take some towers.
It's not every day to see Radiant's middle tower.
So gonna look to take the fight. Lewis is off the mark with the initiation. Bring on Escort next with maxed out bulldozers. Not an easy task at all. I'm so surprised the fact that Spectre is actually keeping up in farm with the Terrorblade. I mean, he's about, what, 23 last hits behind at the moment. There is a big difference here. I mean, Terrorblade's died 3 times, Mob's only died the once, so a lot of natural GPM. KDA's looking a lot better here for the Spec 2. But this is something we bring up a lot in the draft, and it's something that we're going to continue bringing up this game. Radiant just being as cooldown dependent as they are. They really... Ooh, Fiend. Dirty. Nice initiation. And but just a free pick off. Now it's a question if they can get anything more out of it. Attempt a heads up TP, but Fiend has this Infernal Blade at level 4 now. I think it was 3 just at that fight. And they might try and walk in a Roche. About half duration of meta. And you can take this at an incredibly rapid rate. We're still yet to see the Spectre feel comfortable at showing up into a lot of these fights. Oh my... Yeah, of course you get a DD. Why not? Why not Daddy Gabe and give him a DD when they're walking to Roche? Like, it feels only fitting. Oh, Lewis. Great use of the observer ward. Rolls straight on top of Chemo. Should reveal there's some vision in the area. They're going to look to buy back and contest it. They know meta's down. Can they take the fight? DD's about to expire as well, but Escort doesn't have any heroes to kind of back him up at the moment. And Yona is starting to, I don't want to say fall off, but definitely those past 2 deaths has really hindered how his mid-game would have been. I mean, if you had BKB, maybe the last fight, or by contesting Roche, that could have been huge for Interactive Philippines. Fiend's in trouble. TP starting to come out. Escort is actually not going to get the assistance of Mob. I think that's first use of Shadow Step we've seen as well. It's been a bit laissez-faire holding the Aghanim's ability. Alright, so how do we feel about this Aegis? What do we feel like it's going to do to turn this game around? It's a big lead now for Atomic. Gives you, I think, a breathing room now to stall out right next abilities. You know, Meta, Doom. Then you'll probably, I want to see them look to take top. Control of the outpost, take a tower. So I should say get control of the top side of the map. And take the outpost, then the tower.
Dire are scanning for enemies.
Yes, sir, that's exactly what they're going to do.
Radiant's bottom tower is about to fall. Can't say he's wrong.
Dire will scan this one out though, so they are at least aware of the infiltration to their own jungle. See how defensive they're playing across the map. Some huge items soon to be picked up as well. Almost Manta, Escort with almost Aghanims. That's a big one too if you can get there. Being positioned 4 and having Philosopher's Stone, he definitely should.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
I think you just have to give up top tower though. You are so close to a lot of your items. Contesting a fight now would just be... I think just giving up more objective after it. Your BKB as well for Yona, which should be not completed.
Jex thinks Radiant's bottom tower is about to fall.
So they'll lose top, but I don't think they'll try and lose any more towers after that. And again, they don't really have a lineup to force any trades. Like Escort's doing his best to try and pressure this T2 tower.
Do Radiant want their middle tower?
They're actually going to look to smoke, Yona. Oh my god, playing with fire. They're actually wrapping behind T2 mid. I like this play. Something that they're not anticipating with the positioning from the boys on Dire. Smoke pops Matt to great spot. Very nicely done. And that's what we were wanting to see from the Elder Titan before when the smoke popped by the bottom outpost. Just
Jax
break the
thinks Radiant's
gank,
bottom tower is about to fall. So he's wrong.
give the space to the cause to retreat. And now this tier 1, the tier 2 defense gets a lot easier. One Ast is missing his mana.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
They still feel like they're not strong enough without the Grimstroke. They want all their heroes.
Is Dire going to let that middle tower fall?
That's good. That's good. I mean, it's pretty beefy.
Dire's middle
Dude,
tower is
status
under
resistance is so stupid.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
70%? 12-second cooldown? But charging on Fiends! Mom's got a lot more damage than last time they attempted. It's a BKB wasted too!
Radiant's top tower is under
And
attack.
now we might start to see the pickup potential skyrocket for the boys on Interactive.
Dire don't look too scared of Radiant's top tower.
And they know Terrorblade TP top, so this is going to give them a lot of information. They can either start to instantly head to the triangle, that's the next farming pattern for him, or down bottom. Because you know TB can't be there for the fight, so down bottoms looks like going to be the way they take this. Ooh, Jing. Does he have the night vision? No, he doesn't. So not going to see the snap fight just yet. Lewis. Oh, Escort's on the high ground. Oh no! Oh, another strike on cooldown. They're still gonna try and blow him up. Lewis was controlled for quite some time. He's got BKB, Gem 2. This is a high value target if they can kill him. I'm sure they're happy with just popping BKB. That was a 9-second charge. I honestly think that's a kill if he's not stuck on the high ground. But I mean, what a series we've got. Again, knocking on wood, we don't have a similar occurrence to game 1. But it was Atomic-eSports around about this stage. Honestly, when did game 1? It was like 30. But they had a net worth lead at that stage in the game. It was very, very... So we're still 10 minutes away, bottom lane. Cool, Fiend.
Is Dire going to let that middle tower fall?
Damage. It's gonna get even more as well. Once these talents start to pick up that movement speed if he wants it. Did he actually go Ag Shot on Escort? He did, okay. So what, he's got the break. Another game where someone's going break and it's really not that good. Why did he go this talent? I guess the spell immunity is really nice, so he can't
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
cancelled. 200 extra damage is crazy as well. That's a 475 nuke. That is a lot of damage actually
Jax
at
thinks
maxed
Radiant's
out.
bottom tower is about to fall.
Okay.
So he's wrong.
I just always look at it and I'm like, it's mainly for the break, but have no one that you're worried about with the break.
Radiant's bottom tower is
So
under
yeah, it just
attack.
has to be the extra damage.
And here's a fortification from Radiant.
Magic immunity, like we said, is really nice. What's the cast time? I wish it said that. We were speaking about that this year. As you go later and later in the game, gets pretty goddamn obnoxious. Trying to set up on Escort. I don't know, man. This guy's really hard to kill. They're actually going to look to jump the Snapfire instead. The bait. It's been strong. Let's see how long this Doom's going to last for. It won't even matter. They'll tick him out, get the ward. The Bulldoze status resist not working in his favor. And now this is going to cost Dire their own triangle. So this will give up a lot of their defensive vision. Lewis is continuing to pursue on for more. It's on the roll, BKB with, but the rest of the team still swinging on over with the help of the Mortimer Kisses. A big blitz stop lands for the Doom, controlling all the heroes as Yona relying on the BKB. He'll be able to run them in and out simultaneously with the backline mob. He's been able to kill off another support here. Man, Doom is making play after play though. Fiend, we were asking for the 5v1 in game 1. And he's doing a lot here. That wall stomp multiple heroes throughout the fight. When they respawn, more than likely going to look to make a smoke play though. I mean, ultimate's at cooldown. $2,000 net worth lead though for the boys on Radiant. What's probability look like? It's been fire favored. 70% in fact. Honestly, I would not have guessed this game to be 70% favored for Dire. Global potential once again, straight on top of Lewis. He's got BKB, but not fired at that extra burst with the side. Coming in pretty handy there with the damage, and now they know they're one hero down, and instantly they're going to look to collapse on the rest of Atomic. Still on cooldown for another 25. He's getting ripped apart from the illusions. He'll be forced to pop the smoke. Soulbine's about to expire, but he's backing once again. Acid protects him with the stun up, and now terribly. He's vulnerable. The BKB is still used defensively. They're out to the safety. Escort pursuing on for more. He's not going to be able to catch anyone simultaneously. Apollo though, with his own banishment illusions, able to clean off Matthew. Now Lewis is back up in 5. They also have Doom. Another really messy fight though. So something we actually didn't bring up is maybe, I mean, the upgrading the Nether Strike is going to be pretty nice with the Soulbind, because they don't really have anything else to combine with it. Nice little pick off. Honestly, this might secure Roche. It is such a nuisance to in a close proximity like Roshan. I honestly want to see him buy back. I think you have to. You can't let this go to waste. He's not got a TP to the outpost though. Do they have a smoke to try and connect? This is literally, I don't want to say identical, but it's a very similar position to game 1. Second Roche of the game. Really gonna blow this wide open, that pivotal moment. Oh my god, surely it's not gonna be the same thing. They go around, Radiant go around.
Radiant are scanning.
They need some form of control. But Radiant know that Dire can really contest Roche. I mean, Manta Spectre's decent. If you don't have any minus armor, it's gonna take them too long, and TB definitely would scout out. High priority is Ember. Like, Yona went Ags instead of the Lincoln, so he's very vulnerable to the Doom jumping. He's gotta be careful playing the front line. Fiend's gonna try and find the angle in. If you use Soulbind, that was BKB on Lewis. What's a priority from Interactive? I really want to see Snapfire, Shadow Demon killed off. I want to see these supports taking care over the start of the fight. Can you blow up Doom? I don't think you can kill Doom because Shadow Demon would still be alive. Like, you have to blow everything to kill off Fiend. They're gonna see them swing on over. Radiant making sure they get this outpost. No T1 tower for the location to TP to. Oh, Escort! The charges straight on through! Even use bulldoze as well. Oh no, Escort's in trouble. This should be now a guaranteed Roche. It has given over the kill to the Shadow Demon, but Yona's gonna be cautious. Fiend unfortunately with the blink on cooldown, but Lewis is still gonna commit the roll. They're buying back, and Lewis has just sacrificed his life over the Horde, creating too much chaos. Fiend's in trouble, Nether Strike the extra stun. It's gonna be a nuisance here. The Earth Splitter blows up Fiend, and now Yona can render on forward. off the turnblade, but it gets his thunder off, and now he's gonna look to turn, ripping apart the Ember. As Asta's damage is starting to ramp up. 3 down, Turnblade reigns supreme. Oh my, is he going back in? Mob? Crazy man gets the kill in and out just like that. A dieback on Apollo. What a crazy fight. 4 buybacks overall. A dieback on Apollo. A dieback on Escort. But Asta, the nick of time. And the fact that they won that fight without Doom? No chance to contest it. In fact, Fiend's gonna get a kill as well. Take me, says the Golia. Oh, we got the... Oh, okay, that's why. They gave up the gem previously.
Sorry, Jack.
Who do we give the shard to? Snap doesn't have blink. Probably Earth Spirit if you put him as a 2. Yep, nice start.
Coin of the realm.
Okay, well they got big TB issues, I'll tell you what. How long has Matthew had Ag Scepter for? I don't think we've felt the impact of the Dark Portrait if he's had it. It's gonna scale really well into the late game. But take a look though, like a big reason of why they're not further ahead on Atomic is his counterpart. 4 levels behind as well. And this is a big... I mean, he's 14, 6, and 6. Like, honestly, with how... quote-unquote rough? Do you want to say rough? I mean, yeah, you're looking at the net worth and looking at the level difference. I guess maybe rough's not the right way to put it, but like a little bit lesser of a game than what the Ember's having. He's still doing an incredible job. Really impressed with his Earth Spirit performance this game. And the Doom's about to have double ulti as well. Still do not know why Doom is called, why the ultimate is named after the hero. Blows my mind. Boggles my mind, in fact.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Never
Look at Dire's
I mean, they're just gonna walk up high, Gum. You are not worried at all. Extra illusions with the meta. They're gonna siege so incredibly fast. You've got ET, which is a strong defense. I honestly wouldn't hate seeing like a deep lane ward like here, so you could charge on through, get this creep wave in the next. Or Ember just going to cut. But I guess that's a nice thing. Just use Dark Portrait, Slight, ET. Mob's gonna be cautious. They're able to scalp the Silver's Edge, but Mob does have Lincolns, but they can break it instantly and cancel. Oh? He didn't cancel the... Wait, what happened? Did he do the illusion? Hang on. What just happened? Oh my god. I think he, I don't know. I looked away. I wanted to see if the Ember was doomed or not. Alright, well, he's got to use the second one now.
Behold, a subtle burn.
Oh no, this is actually going to be a good fight for Dire underneath the vision. To grant them more advantage, they're just going to look to blow up the Shadow Demon. A successful retreat nonetheless from Atomic. Wait, terribly? What are you doing here? Meta wasted as well. Oh, this is all on Fiend. If they win this fight, this Doom has to be chaotic. They're playing off the respawn round 2, but it's not going to be enough. They'll blow up the terribly. He doesn't have a buyback. Fiend pop with pressure as well for the double BKB, but they threw this game. Atomic, you had the lead. You had the firm grasp of it. 4 down, no buyback. What? Oh, what? What's going on? Oh my god. You are so lucky your lanes are shoved out. My lord. Mid was at that tier 3. Bottom was at like the halfway mark as well. My lord. They are actually not going to get punished. Actually, I take that back. Probably a tier 3 plus a melee. And buybacks? Yeah, close as well. Doom cooldown.
Radiant's middle tower is
Earth
under
Spirit, Shadow Demon cooldown, Might. Oh, dude, what? Look at the swing. Holy. Alright, so TV's got buyback available. Not that he will use it, but just in case they stick around. This is the one thing that's working in their favor. They really don't push fast at all.
Radiant just fortified.
Yes, Snapfire. They're just gonna get all the tier 2s.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Oh no. Dude, this game is crazy.
Well, too bad. And over here, Radiant's top tower.
8-second BKB. But they get all the outer towers, so they don't even get a tier 3. My god, Radiant. That was a huge blunder, but they are still in it. Down 9,000 gold. We're seeing though, these are a couple fights in a row where Doom has not had a great ultimate, or even used it at all, and it's starting to cost him. Like Lincoln's being picked up, Ember's got his, Spectre has his. Honestly, Escort might not even need a Lincoln's because he has the status resistance.
Dire are scanning for enemies.
And he's almost level 25 too. Look how fast he farms, dude. This is so stupid. Let's take a look at the 25s. You end up with a recharge. Spectre got the dispersion. That's certainly going to do a lot of work versus the Terrorblade. 25% reflected. He's super tanky. 4,200 health. So much more effective health as well with the reflection. You see what's happening in fights though. Like, it's so chaotic. It makes it really... Like, Radiant, they want an easy fight to understand and survey. And they're not getting that, which is the issue. Like, you're not getting the... When Haunts use... When Ember's jumping on top of you, when Spirit Breaker's jumping on top of you. It's just... it's an awkward one. It makes it really, really difficult for Doom just to find the right target on who you want to jump. And we've seen what he can do. Escort might be in trouble here. They thought there might be some heroes behind him. Actually gonna look to just burst out a polo. Bomb's gonna German as well. First Doom used. Leaving out the status resistance. Now we're keeping tabs on where the second Doom's gonna come out though. Refresher Pop still standing their ground. They're kiting Asta. They're going to be happy that. Further up to the northern side, Lewis rolling deep to try and deal with Matthew, but they haven't got the damage just yet until Fiend shows up. Second Doom ready to rock and roll, but you don't want to use it on the Elder Titan. You need to better target just that. And the buyback's coming into play. Great if they don't have this capability as Fiend's blown up. Now the Terrorblade's in shambles as well. BKB Satanic all fours. It's relying on the Thunder, but he doesn't get it off. And Dire once again overwhelmed, and the G's are dropped, and they're done. Out of the qualifiers, InterActive are going to move on. They'll face Cobalt in the grand finals. Man, chaotic fights, what can we say? That was the name of the game. Overwhelming. Make it so difficult for them to survey the fight, get the proper ultimate. You're doomed to Spirit Breaker.